everyone, welcome back to Faith in Flour. This is Robin and welcome to my pantry. Today I'm going to be decluttering, cleaning, and reorganizing our pantry. If you love videos like that, let me know down in the comments and be sure to give me a thumbs up. About a year ago, I organized our pantry. It's been working pretty well, but there are a few things that need correcting and it needs a good cleaning. One of the things I want to change is the location of these baskets on the top shelf. I put snacks up there thinking that they would be sort of out of sight and out of mind, but of course my family knows what's in there and they pull the baskets down constantly and really don't like returning them. So I want to change the location of those, and I just want to contain a lot of the things that we have in here. We have about a month's food supply in here at all times, and so I'm constantly rotating things, and so I want to develop some systems that will make that a little bit easier. And if you guys want to know more about that, I will have my Prepper Pantry series linked down in the description box and in the cards above. Having that really helped us out in the crisis that we had here in Texas with the winter storms, and I'm planning a video on that to let you know what worked and what didn't work, so be on the lookout for that. I've been planning this in my mind for a while. I've gathered some containers, but I was still lacking some things. We don't live very close to an IKEA, but I had an opportunity to go to one last weekend, and so I finally got everything that I needed to get going on this, so today is the day. I already have a few of these Le Parfait jars. These are the liter size and I love them. I've been wanting more for a while and I finally went ahead and got some. I'm going to put a lot of our baking goods in there, but I need to wash them first. I'm so excited to have more of these jars. They are such high quality. The glass is really thick, they have an airtight seal, and the lid won't get lost because it's attached. If you guys are interested, I put them in my Amazon store, and you can always find the link for that down in the description box. Now for the work. I need to get everything out of the pantry so that I can clean it really thoroughly and start grouping things in a way that makes sense so that I can put my new containers to work. baskets in the back corner of the pantry are filled with our grill utensils and some steak knives, but I think that I can figure out a solution for those that will make a little bit more sense. And then who needs this many paper bags? I collect them as I get them, and I do use them, but not that many. So I'm going to pare that down too, and I might even relocate those into the laundry room. This is the hardest part of the decluttering process, is just seeing everything that you had packed into the pantry. It can be so intimidating, and we do have a lot of food, a lot more than a lot of people, but as I said, we have a prepper pantry, so if you want to know more about it, make sure you check out those videos down in the description box. I had our kitchen table, our kitchen island covered with the things that came out of our pantry. I even had to use my desk space within the pantry and some areas in our dining room for everything that I got out of there, because I not only keep food in there, but I also keep a lot of our kitchen appliances and even some cookware in there as well. So there is a lot, and a few things aren't going to return to the pantry, but most everything will. And it amazed me that I was actually able to pull it off, and I have to say, seeing it all out like this kind of made me worry. But what did feel really good was seeing the pantry completely empty and being able to give it a thorough cleaning. To clean the shelves, I just used some of my DIY disinfecting cleaner. It's all natural, and I have some spearmint essential oil in there, and that made our pantry smell amazing. Peppermint oil would be great instead of the spearmint, because peppermint oil deters ants, and that would be perfect for cleaning out a pantry. But I've been using it with spearmint essential oils ever since my friend Dixie suggested it. It just smells great. And that spearmint scent actually is more of a spring scent in my mind, so I really enjoyed using it in here today when I'm doing somewhat of a spring cleaning. Once the pantry was fresh and clean, I started playing around with the containers to see how I wanted to configure things. Then I enjoyed filling all of the new containers and contemplating how I was going to arrange everything in the pantry. There are so many different label options available. That was actually quite a hard choice for me, but I have this little Dymo label maker that I've had for years, and it's super simple. I can customize them any way I want, so that's what I chose to stick with. I also have this in my Amazon store, and that link is down in the description box. Finally, it was time to put everything back in the pantry, but I wanted to take my time with it, really thinking about what would look nice and what would function best. Putting all of the glass jars at eye level not only looks great, but it makes it easy to get them in and out, because the larger ones can be really heavy when they're full. And I wanted all of my baking items that I have in glass jars grouped together in a way that makes sense. So I do most of my baking gluten-free, but we do occasionally make some things that aren't, especially for other people. And so I want to make sure that there's a good separation of those things, and that's another reason why labeling is so important for us. I got 2 of these mesh baskets from IKEA for our onions, garlic, and potatoes. The onions and garlic will be on this side of the can rack. I've lined it with some parchment paper to keep dirt from falling through, and the potatoes will go on the other side because you guys let me know that storing them together can cause the potatoes to sprout early, so hopefully now that they're separated, everything's going to last longer. I have been loving this can rack. It is a great solution for us. It makes it easy for me to rotate the things in our pantry and makes all of the cans so accessible. And then on the bottom shelves, I'm putting all of the snacks that used to be on the top shelf. So now everybody can reach in and grab what they want, and I won't have to be reaching up to return the baskets all of the time. I started this project in the afternoon, hoping to finish by dinner time, but when dinner time came, I realized that was probably a little ambitious. I've made a lot of progress, but I still have some things left that need to go in here, so I'm going to take a little time to contemplate that and also to clean up the containers that I removed. All of our appliances and cookware that I keep in here need to go back in, and I haven't quite decided how I'm going to arrange that, so it'll be nice to have a little time to think about it. I did manage to clear the kitchen table and the kitchen island of all food, and now I just need to wash those containers. I do have plans to use these in other areas of our home and also on our RV. So the next morning, after taking Peyton to his work program, I got busy on completing the pantry. Arranging the pantry is a lot like putting together a puzzle. I have all of these pieces that I know have to go back in here, and I want to find a solution to making them fit that functions well, but also looks really good. All of the appliances that we don't use often will go on the top shelf, and then the things that we use on a daily or weekly basis, I'm putting at eye level to make them easy to reach, especially the heavier items. Our pantry shelves are not adjustable, so that limits a little bit where I can put things as well. So things like baking sheets and trays fit well on this bottom shelf that's a little bit taller, and then a tall appliance like my blender, which also doesn't get frequent use, will go up on top. Having my baking pans stacked inside of each other really maximizes the space, and because that's rather heavy, having it on the bottom shelf makes it very convenient and easy to access. And of course, when I had the general location in mind, I spent a little time playing around with things to get the aesthetic just right. We very rarely use plastic utensils or even a lot of paper products, but we have a lot left over from a gathering that we had before we even moved here, and I hold on to them because we do use them once in a blue moon. So I put them all inside Ziploc bags and basically filed them in this container, and that allowed me to get rid of all of this bulky packaging. Just doing that makes them a lot more accessible, and now I'm going to store them pushed into the back of the pantry, but still where I can get to them when I need them. After a few final adjustments, my pantry organization was complete. I'm really pleased with the way everything turned out. I think it looks so much better. It looks cleaner and neater, but I also think that it's going to function a lot better with the changes that I made. And now for the tour, starting with the top shelf. This is where I'm going to store all of our backstock items. So whenever I load up on items and we have extras, this is where they will go. I have a ladder that I keep in the pantry so I can access those things very easily. On the next lowest shelf, I have all of our pasta and baking mixes, and then I have all of our flours and other baking items decanted in jars. Also decanted in jars are beans. I keep a lot of dry beans, and they are great for keeping on hand for longer term food storage. I am one container short for those items that are in the corner, and so the next time I get to IKEA, I'm going to pick up another one of these. These plastic containers I'm using to group like items together, like all of our Mexican type sauces. Again, here's the wire mesh basket that I'm using for the potatoes on this side of the can rack, and the onions and garlic on the other side. At the end of this shelf, I have the remaining jars. I have some homemade jarred applesauce here, and I also have granola and oats and things like that because right below it, I've got all of our cereals. The cereals actually stayed in the same location as they were before. Our family really liked those things there and it worked well. And next to those are all of the Tupperware modular mates. I'm still using those. They work great. And mostly what I have in them are things like rice and pasta, some nuts and seeds, and other baking items like some powdered sugar, brown sugar, and things like that. They keep everything fresh. Most of them are labeled except for the obvious things like the pasta. Next to that, I have more things grouped in these plastic containers. This first one has things like jam and honey, molasses, and spreads like peanut butter. And next to that, I've got two filled with other baking type items. These plastic containers came from IKEA and they are great. They're super sturdy and I love that they have handles. So when I'm baking, I can actually grab the basket and take it into the kitchen and work on the island or on the countertop with everything that I need. And when I'm finished, I can pack it back up and bring it back in here. These large mesh type plastic containers came from Target and I really like these because they hold a lot. So in the back one, I have the grill utensils and some other small appliances. Also the paper goods, and both of those can be accessed easily because I can pull those baskets out. And then I have more of the IKEA type baskets with grouped items. I have one for condiments and the other one is sort of pasta sauces and bouillon and stocks. Next to that, I have a beverage container. So in this, I've got coffee, hot cocoa, marshmallows, and I also have a bunch of different coffee syrups right there in front. So those things are all contained. And then the rest are for snacks. And so now my family can easily access all of those things. They can pull those out, see what they want, and more importantly, put back what they don't want. A couple more things I love about these containers are that they'll contain spills that may happen, and also when I need to clean the pantry next time, it's going to be so much easier just to grab these baskets, take them out, and clean everything in a lot less time. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. I hope it gave you lots of decluttering, cleaning, and organizing motivation for a space in your home. And if you're new here, I want to invite you to subscribe. It's absolutely free and easy. All you have to do is click on my picture. Thank you for spending your time with me here today. I look forward to talking with you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a wonderful week.